Bismillah Rahman Rahim. I am Maaz and I am going to teach you people the subject of stylistics is one of the subjects in this semester. Uh, First of all, let me introduce the term stylistics. What is stylistics? Is one of the branches of linguistics. Stylistic has been defined by different people in different ways in their own contexts. So some of the definitions I have picked up are in these slides, which are uh, explained in simple words. First of all, let me tell you people this kind of definition, which is given by Kate Wells, one of the authorities mentioned in our syllabus, and she has written the Dictionary of Stylistics in 1990. So, according to this author, stylistic is simply the study of style. What is stylistics? Stylistics is the study of style. So, style is central to stylistics. Now, there are two, you can say, morphemes involved in the study of style. So, there are two morphemes involved in the term stylistics. One is style, and the second is ix. We will explain the term style in very great detail later on, but let me uh, explain you people the morpheme, the suffix x, ics. When we attach the morpheme x to a word, this word signifies a field of knowledge, or a field of study, or a field of learning. And X, the morpheme X, ICS, which is in the term stylistic, refers to the study of something, the science of something, the knowledge of something. In simple words, stylistics is a combination of two morphemes in a structure. One is style and the second one is X, ICS. We would explain the term style later on in the second part of this lecture, but let me explain you people the term X or the morpheme X. X refers to the study of something. Suppose semantics, the study of meaning. X is over there in the term semantics. Similarly, pragmatics, you would find the same meaning of X over there in the structure of pragmatics. So, in simple words, X means the study or science of something. Now, we can conclude from this definition given by Kate Wells in Dictionary of Stylistics 1990 that stylistics is the science, knowledge, or philosophy of style. So, it is mistaken that philosophy of science. It is actually the style. Stylistic is the science, knowledge, or philosophy of style. So, actually, it is the learning, it is the knowledge, or it is the science of style. We would be dealing with the study of style in stylistic in simple words. Now, move to the next definition of stylistic. According to Paul Simpson, 2004, stylistics is a method of textual interpretation in which primacy of place is assigned to language. Now, this definition is also influential in the field of stylistics. Paul Simpson is an influential authority in linguistics. He has written many books uh, on psycholinguistics, pragmatics, and stylistics as well. So, he defines stylistics as a method of textual interpretation in which primacy of place is assigned to language. Now, there are certain components involved in this definition. First of all, stylistics is a method of interpretation. Now, actually, it is confined or it is limited to a method or an approach to textual interpretation. Text is interpreted or can be construed or explained in different ways in different methods. So, one of the methods of the interpretation of a text a literary text like drama, poetry, novels, short story, etc., is that of stylistics. So, stylistics is one of the ways, one of the methods, one of the procedures for the interpretation of text. Now, you can also interpret the text from cultural perspective, from psychological perspective, from socio cultural perspective, from Marxist perspective, etc., from feminist perspective. So these are different methods, and one of the methods for the interpretation of text is stylistics. Now, in stylistic, the primacy of place, the most important thing involved in this kind of interpretation is assigned to language. You would focus on the language of the text, so rather than the themes. Like in Marxism, you would find the class struggle. In feminism, you would try to identify or evaluate the discrimination based on gender. Similarly, in psychoanalytical interpretation of text, you would pay attention to the ego, and the complexes like Oedipus complex and Electra complex of the text. So, in psychological, the focus of attention is on the psychology. In the sociological definition, the focus of attention is the class struggle, and the feminist approach or method of text interpretation is and gender discrimination, gender equality, and gender inequality, etc. And stylistics is a method of textual interpretation, the primacy of language assigned to language. Now, in this method, you would give focus to the language features, language forms, language patterns, language sense, language sounds. So, language would be emphasized in this kind of interpretation of text. So, this was actually one of the definitions given by Paul Simpson for the term stylistic is a field or area of learning and knowledge. The next definition of stylistics is that of Michael Burke. Michael Burke is considered to be one of the major authorities in linguistics. He has written a book named Literature and Linguistics, which is recommended in your syllabus as well. So, according to Michael Burke, stylistics or literary linguistics, as it is sometimes called, is the study and analysis of text. Now, in this definition, the term stylistic is being clearly and categorically explained, and he calls stylistic as literary linguistics. Now, stylistics is a branch of linguistics, but it bridges linguistics and literature at the same time. In simple words, stylistics is dealt with both the study of linguistics and literature. That is why it is called literary linguistics by Michael Burke. Now, by literary linguistics, we mean that we would, take tool out of linguistics and apply that tool to the study of literature. That's why it combines both field of linguistics and literature. Now, according to Michael Burke, stylistic is the study and analysis of text. Now, what does it mean? It means that text is central to the study of stylistics. Now, text is a very complicated and crucial concept in field of stylistic to know at this stage. Text is whatever we perceive through our senses is called text. Now, this definition is very broad in nature because I touch upon different modalities of text. You would understand text by giving the example of drama, poetry, or novel, etc. But there's a very narrow and limited definition of text. Though it is a text, we can call it or describe it as text. But text is a broad terminology including any entity information that we can perceive through our five senses. That is to say, sight, hearing, taste, touch, etc. And at the same time, the extra perceptual aspect of our senses also included in the category or terminology of text. In simple word, text is any entity, any information that we can